In this video, we are going to understand all about Heikin Ashi chart and its use. Heikin Ashi is a type of trading chart that you can use in tandem with candlestick charts to identify market trends and predict future prices. This chart originated in Japan in the 1700s and averages price data, filtering out market noise. It uses a modified formula to open high, low and close, which is open equals to the midpoint of the previous bar, high equals to the maximum of high, open and close, low equals to the minimum of low, open and close, and close equals to the average price of the current bar. Now, let's understand the difference between Heikin Ashi and candlestick. The primary difference is the averaging of the price movements. As the bars are averaged, they don't show the precise open and close prices. The visual representation of the trend is much clearer. Let us see this with an example. In this chart of XYZ, when you look at a normal candlestick 5-minute chart, there is no distinguished trend. But when you look at Heikin Ashi 5-minute chart, the data points are averaged out and create longer candles with distinct trends. As seen in this chart, green candles with no lower shadows indicate an uptrend, and a small candle body with a longer upper and lower shadow could indicate a change in the trend. Still confused? Let's take one more example. Here, the change in an upward trend is indicated by a small candle body with large upper and lower shadows, post which the stock has moved downwards. To summarize, look for the following indicators to spot a trend by using a Heikin Ashi chart. Strong uptrend if there are green candles with no lower shadows. A change in trend if there are candles with a small body surrounded by longer upper and lower shadows. Red candles with no higher shadows signal a strong downtrend. In conclusion, the Heikin Ashi chart is like a normal candlestick chart, except that formula for each bar is different. Heikin Ashi can make locating the trends easier than the traditional candlestick. You can easily use these charts to trade on our trading platform, TX3 and Edelweiss Mobile Trader. If you liked our video, like, share and subscribe to our channel. And for more such videos, visit our website www.edelweiss.in. Thank you.